Mummy! Today I am taking sartorial inspiration from our dear beloved friend Super Mario. Why? Because I felt like it. Or even better question, why not? Why not, kids, okay? Yeah. With that in mind, that has nothing to do with today's video, although, like, still slightly practical. Got a tape measure ready to hand, which, from the Mario perspective, is taking the place of the top of dungarees, but used to have dungarees, not anymore. And the whole point is to be inspired by Mario, not necessarily directly be exactly Mario. Anyway, so it's winter and my feet are starting to get cold. And since my old slippers died some time ago and I've been making do in between, it's time to bite the bullet and finally make my own slippers. So, as usual, I don't really know what I'm doing. I have got a YouTube video or a YouTube YouTube tutorial to follow, and it does look quite straightforward. You know, just have to cut out the various bits, then sew them together. How hard could it be? I'm gonna see how I go, to be honest. I don't necessarily expect to get it all done today. I do at least want to get everything cut out and make a start on some of the sewing, and then I just see how I feel. Once I get into it, I tend to find a bit of a rhythm, and if I get stuck or confused, that's what tends to be like, I'm gonna come back to this another day before I, you know, stab someone or throw my phone across the room. So yeah, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on progress as we go, and yeah, wish me luck, really. Okay, so the first step is to take my paper, my old slippers, and start drawing around them, so that I've got the templates. Then I need to cut various bits out. So this is the grippy bottoms, so that I don't go flying. Okay, so this is an interesting little cheat I'm going to play. This is basically all I have out of sort of, it's a scrap end of unused fabric, which I would like to be the outside. I think if I was very economical and didn't bugger anything up, I could do these all out of this fabric. However, it's me and I've never done this before. So I also then have this old piece of fleece which was once a blanket and that I've also cut up to do some other things. So what I'm going to try and do is have the newer shinier bits of fleece on the outside and then the older bits of fleece on the inside. So still floofy, but makes me feel like I've got new slippers on the outside. So yes, the slight added layer of complication, but hopefully I'll get it the right way around. I'm going to have to concentrate very hard, I think, but yeah. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, I at least have a plan. Oh yes, the other thing I've got is in here. Memory foam. Squidgy. So yes, that's going to be obviously in the bottom part of the slippers to keep my feet nice and comfy. Oh, hopefully that's not going to be too complicated to cut out. But yes, templates first, and then on we go. I just need to do a 1 centimetre seam allowance. Like, I think the base is going to be quite big anyway, so hopefully I'm going to have plenty of seam allowance. But again, being me, seam allowance is the last thing I always remember. So we'll do 1 centimetre seam allowance around the outside of this, and then we have template 1. Okay, so these bits of the template were bigger than I thought. I've got enough fabric to do one, and because I was going to do that on the inside anyway, that's okay from that perspective. And then I was debating what to do with the inside of the whole foot and whether that should be that. But what I'm thinking is I might get a bit creative and patchworky. So if, for example, I did something like that, so we're effectively just patchworking together the bits, so I would have to sew those bits together individually to make the overall shape. But then I'd be using up all of this lovely fleece, because otherwise we've got the outside and then not much else. So I'm gonna have a play about and see if I can figure it out. Okay, so I figured it out. We've got the top piece in two parts, so actually it'll be a nice little, you know when you see a seam across the top of your slippers? It'll be like that. Then we've got the reused fleece on the inside and on the inside bottom, the new stuff around the outside, and it's going to be awesomely clashy. I love it, I'm very excited. But frankly, this has broken my brain enough for today. So now the cutting's done, I think I will start the sewing another day. So I'll catch you back later. And so we are done. That's what the slippers, slippers, slippers. When they're not on my hands, my feet are really quite toasty. I'm really quite pleased with how these came out, actually. It wasn't as complicated as I thought. It does need a little bit of brain power to get things the right way around. And I'm obviously just going to test them for a little bit. I am wondering whether there maybe needs to be like a bit of cardboard. And when I say cardboard, I mean like, you know, like a nice sturdy bit of cardboard between the grippy under fabric and the foam. Because even though it's memory foam, so you sort of go squoosh and it does bounce back, it's very, very squooshy. So it's actually quite thick to start with, but by the time you sort of stood on it, it's still a squooshy layer, but not as big a squooshy layer. So I'm wondering if there just should be a little bit something else there for support, but I might, don't know. It's the whole thing of like, oh, I just finished sewing them up, and I'm like, oh, do I want to unpick it and put more stuff in? But we shall see, because obviously I want them to last for a while, and it's nice that I've made them myself, so, you know, even better that they last a while, really. That being the whole point, that I don't need to buy new slippers now. But I keep stroking them, they're so soft and fluffy. Oh dear. Anyway, so yes, moral of the story is, complicated projects can look complicated and scary, but it's always worth trying something new. I definitely find that if I really want to get something done and give one of these scary projects a try, it needs to be something that I want or need, or that I'm making for somebody else. You know, that way it really kind of has that sense of purpose for me, as well as being like a fun learning experience. So yes, I think that's why these things tend to go well for me. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this week's video. A little bit of video going, a little bit of making, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!